Alright then. Whoever's here, how's it going? Yeah. It's been a while. It's been some hours, you know. Finally gonna be working on this again. I kind of just want to make sure that I get the shadows the way they need to be, and kind of push this piece a little bit further than I did before. I'm definitely still going to work on some comic pages and stuff like that today as well. But yeah, like I think it's coming out pretty good. Just want to kind of push the shadows here and there. That's what I feel like needs to be kind of worked on. So I want to go underneath all of these normal layers here, and essentially, because I know that the normal layers are like my highlights, my lighting and stuff like that. Yeah, like that. And I think I'm gonna basically, again, just try to go underneath of those and make like things for shadows. So I'll be able to kind of push the depth in the picture. But yeah, I hope you guys have been doing good today. Been enjoying myself, I guess, just kind of relaxing a little bit, drawing, sketching, and I was also watching my friend on Twitch today, so that's pretty cool. Made me want to pull out my Akira collection art book again and look at it. See, he had just gotten it and he'd done an unboxing, so that's pretty cool. Alright, let's see here. Where is this? Set this up here. Alright, that's decent. Yeah, let me see. Is the mic sounding okay? So I think it should be fine. Hope so. Alright. So yeah. Why is my cord acting weird? Oh, come on. Okay, that's odd. So I push it back over. How's that work? Okay. So. Here we go. So yeah, what I want to do is kind of push the shadows in the piece. So what I have to do is go to the opposite side of where most of the lighting is going. I don't know if I'll do much of that for the background. I know I'm going to do some of it, but most of the background's kind of lit up. So what I do have to do is kind of put some slight shadows underneath of the light source. So that's what I'm going to do here. Go ahead and grab some of the values here. And we're going to go ahead and use this pen brush here. I think that'll be cool. But also trying to figure out how to set up a second screen for Clip Studio to kind of put on like a separate monitor, so I can like overall see, you know, what the picture is looking like from far away, or from farther away, right? And I also had an idea. I was like, I should be able to kind of set up some shadowy figures kind of in front of her, because you know there's actually people holding rifles there, but I don't want you to necessarily see them. I just kind of want you to know that they're there. So I'm gonna try and set that up as well. I think that's looking okay. Thinking this might be too dark, but I can definitely lighten it with like an airbrush tool. I think that'll be pretty cool. Alright. Wait, put that down a bit more. Whoa. Oh, thanks. What the heck? Thanks, Kino, not for the raid. Actually wonder if I have a raid notification at all installed right now. How's it going, everyone? Congratulations. Okay, thank you. Thank you. How's everyone doing today? How was Kai's stream? I was there a little earlier. I'm glad he finally got the Akira collection. Was trying to get him to get it some time ago. But, yeah. It's awesome. Penguin noises? Okay. Hope everyone's having a good day. I'm just working on this here Ahsoka piece. It's coming out okay, I think. It was a great stream. Nice. Man, you seemed really excited looking at those books, man. I'm glad you finally got them. Where can you find my work? I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter as well. Oh, Pharaoh. Oh, okay. You hated it wholeheartedly. Oh, okay. Dang, man. All right. Yeah. Right now I'm working on this Ahsoka Tano piece and whatnot. Trying to push the shadows in it a bit more so that the lighting looks better. Motivate says she's here to see comic process. Okay. I'm going to be doing that also later in the stream. Love the note checking. Word. But yeah. Kane had a Vash Stampede shades on. I hate him even more now. Aw, man. I was wondering, what's the, like, how do they work? I don't know, like, they seem pretty cool though. And I wonder where he bought them from at the same time, because I've never seen anyone with the Vash the Stampede glasses. So that was pretty cool. I was just thinking about like taking out my Kara collection again and trying to like look at it and check things out again. So I was like, you know what? He's right. This book or this collection is amazing, and I was pretty excited when I first got it, and I still am. Just been really busy working on my own stuff. But yeah, every now and then I'm always like, you know, Otomo does exist, and I should try and improve a lot more that type of inspiration around me. I haven't actually been looking at a lot of my favorite books recently, but I have them out. They're just not. I'm just not looking through them actively. It's a piece. Oh, thanks, Daryl. Really appreciate it. Protagonist energy is what makes them glasses work. You know, protagonist energy also makes really big hair work. I don't know. Like, they always, a lot of people give their characters really big, flashy designs and stuff. And, you can only really get away with that if you're the protagonist. Like, imagine a side character with that type of energy, knowing good and well that if they got in the way of the main villain of the arc, they would just die. Like, you'd be just like, why did you go out of your way to stand out? Come on, man. Like, you could have just stayed in the background and not look cool, bro. That's actually that could be a thing for a storyline. Actually, that could work. But yeah, I'm gonna be working on my comic as well this stream, so I'll pull those pages out. Like, they're already kind of sitting up there on the side, and I was just looking at this like, I could improve this a little bit more, try and like push the values in it. It's looking okay. I'm really trying to push the values a bit more so that the lighting is even more prominent. The main thing about the piece is honestly the speed that I'm trying to display here. So I'm going to try and do some of that, make sure that the speed is very evident, and obviously who the character is. So I don't want to like lose her in the composition. I want to make sure she's able to be, notice like who she is, like even if it's far away. Yeah, that side character would just be sad, man. You'd just be like, man, like I think I like the way that side character looks. Like, just a background character, but like, man, look at the swag, like look at the style, like he looks cool. And then he just gets killed. It's like, wait, wasn't that where that one guy I like was standing? It's like, yeah, man, there's nothing there but a burn mark. It's like, oh, come on, like you telling me that also was a background character? Like, I thought he was definitely, or she definitely was gonna be, like a character we're gonna learn about later or something. Like, I didn't think that they were just gonna be a background character. And I think these circular joints down here were also supposed to be lights, so I have to make sure that I do that as well. I'm gonna have to look at a reference for it though. But right now I'm thinking they are supposed to be lights, so I'm gonna definitely go ahead and amp those up a bit. I'm also going to go ahead and let me actually color this real quick, make it blue. And I know that I have to also lighten up stuff above this other objects here, so what I can easily do is go here. Actually, no. What I'll do is I'll go to like this type of layer here. I don't actually know what that is. Oh, okay, it's the outline I have going around the picture. I'm gonna go here, pick white, and I'm just gonna kind of start. Oh, well, Clip Studio had to load or something. But basically, I'm gonna go around the top like that. And I could just use an airbrush, honestly. Airbrush would probably be the better tool. It kind of hits the top like that of each object that's at like this level. And I'm not doing a solid like pass, like filling in a shape, because I want also again the speed to kind of be evident, the motion more so. Oh, that's interesting. It is actually directly on top of that layer. It's a little bit better. Okay. What else can we do here? Got all that going on. I can probably take this, go ahead and hit the bottoms on this blue layer. Like essentially, actually no, I'm gonna go with the softer one. That could work. But I have to actually make sure that I'm only on a certain layer so I don't have to worry about cleanup very much. Let's grab this layer, which is all this. So I'm gonna go ahead and select it. Should I select it? Does it also go around the character? It does. Okay, that's fine then. I can just take this, move it down here, and should be able to clip it. There we go. Kind of want to like darken the bottom a little bit of this object here. Need to actually get a bigger, better view. Okay. Like this area here is a little bit too dark. See here. Still think that these should be like light bulb type joints. See here, kind of erase away slightly. That way it can kind of like be a light, but it won't be as bright as the sparks that are going past it. This is really soft light, even though it might not obviously be that. Want to make sure that the focal point kind of leads you where I want, and if there's other competing lights when I'm already kind of using lights as a major thing, then kind of takes away from it. Alright. What else is here? I think what I'll also do is go to, what is this? One of these is also, okay, so I can use this as well. I'm gonna go to this one, use the stronger airbrush, kind of go around the top part of this edge, or these edges here. Since the light source is also coming from the bottom, kind of going upwards. I feel like that's pretty good. Good thing to catch. It's off. I feel like that edge looks a little wonky, but I'm gonna leave it for now. Just for now. Alright, so I'm going to start making my way around the figure. Always have to, no, that's not it. But it's already, yeah, it's already being used that way. But yeah, I'm going to make it around the figure. Start figuring out where more shadows can be for this. So that, since it has such an abundance of like light sources. So I'm going to start with like this right here, and I'm going to try and use something that's a little lighter. So this is how light that'll be. So I know that I want like actual light source coming from the bottom going upwards. So I know that the other side of the object should technically be a little bit more, I guess, dark. Or would have some sort of shadow aspect to it. Guessing this is pressure sensitive right here. I really like this line here. Something about that one though. That's pretty cool. So is anyone working on anything? What are you guys working on? Oh, there goes the usual fireworks, you know. People are very excited about, you know, upcoming events, you know. It looks actually really off. Actually, I don't think there would be these types of marks or shadow joints down here anyway, since the light's kind of making that fade. Had a brain fart. I was like, wait, where's the airbrush again? Trying to use a combination of hard and soft brushes, whereas though things don't look too soft or too hard, I guess. That's kind of what I'm going for. I'm just working on school stuff while listening to you. Oh, word. Hope school's going okay. Had someone come through the stream some time ago. You would usually be working on school stuff and then heading out when you had to, you know, get ready for school the next day and stuff like that. So, okay. I think I like the way this is coming out. Huh, you have exams coming up and you're dying? Oh, man. Sorry to hear that. Is there anything you can do to, like, I don't know, do better on your exams? I'm sure, obviously, if you knew that, you would already have been doing it, so disregard that. Hey, Eclipse dude. Oh, okay, I was about to say, you're, stopping again. I don't know what's going on outside, but, okay. A lot of emergencies. trying to get this curve a certain way so it looks more natural. So I'm trying to actually go out my way to try and make this material look kind of, I don't know, more solid. And I think it's coming out okay. Things aren't gonna look too flat, hopefully. I feel like that's looking okay. It's looking okay. Can definitely make it look a little bit better. Might have to make this go exactly white here. Where is that located? Alright, so if that's the case, then I can just go to this layer here, which I'm finally going to give a color. And I'm just going to pick the hard brush, or a hard brush, kind of just go over this area and see what happens. And I don't like that. Alright, maybe it will work better if I got rid of the line. Where's that, this one here? Don't like that either. Interesting. Okay, I understand why I don't like it then. Kinda sticks out too much. If I was gonna do it, it would have to be soft. It would have to be like a soft highlight. I don't know where people are getting these fireworks from. So let's see. No. Nah. really gonna have to go with the soft airbrush and see what that looks like. This definitely wouldn't be like, it would definitely have some form of lighting going on it, you know, even if it's a small amount. Alright, so now I'm going to make my way up to this part, or these parts here. Trying to map this stuff out. So we have lighting up here in this area. So all this stuff here will be the brightest stuff here. Things should kind of recede like around this area. So this should be technically, right here should be the darkest part, and then you have the other part of this other light source kind of going around this side of things. So that's what I'll primarily try to remember going around here. So back down to this that I just went from, and I can kind of like color this in. Actually, I'm working too hard. I'll go ahead and use my lasso fill. It's like actually one of my favorite tools in Clip Studio. Oh man, you would trade brains with Einstein right now? Jeez. What are you in school for? What are you majoring in? Okay, so I got that there, and I know that I'm gonna use some soft erasing out. So let's go here. Kind of almost looks like it's blending, but yeah, I'm just erasing out certain edges. So that's fine. And I can also grab this and go around this area as well. Alright, now I can go ahead and take a hard brush and kind of erase out some of the edges, since they should be, you know, the closest thing to any of these light objects to some degree, you know, like how if we have light coming up here, then everything below should technically get some light on it. Technically. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah. See if I can soften that a little bit. that kind of stands out a little bit too much to me. So I'm going to use that, what is it called? Stronger. I should probably change the name. It's so, I don't know, it feels weird. Stronger. That's the name of the airbrush. Like, alright. But that was the name out of the box. So this will make sure these edges kind of easily able to be read or seen and understood what they are against a lot of other things. And since I'm using an airbrush on it, it kind of doesn't stand out too much. How's it going, Genocidal? Potbelly. I'm doing science and art like an idiot. Last year before I go into university though. Oh, word. Nice. Science and art's dope. I love science. It's cool. I'm definitely a little out of practice with my knowledge on science, but I do love science, and I'm always trying to learn more things. Alright, so what else are we gonna do here? First I'm gonna use this one value and go around everything else, because I don't want to kind of lose that. I want to lose that feel. Also, since this is a light armor, or light value armor, if you will, like it's not, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but it's basically like it's like silverish, right? It's not shiny, but it's like rough silver armor type stuff. So I can kind of do a bunch with that. I like science too, but it requires too many brain cells that I don't. Oh man. But it's so cool. Sometimes. Sometimes it's cool. Trying to accentuate the shape here. And I know that since there isn't such a really big light source on the other side, I'm probably gonna make it a little darker, but I'm gonna try and do it where it's like soft. So like you'll see what I'm saying. Alright, so now I'm gonna take the same value but start with the soft tool here. Exactly, only sometimes. Aw. Okay, so let's go over to this again. I thought I'd colored this. Interesting. Where is this again? One of these was supposed to be highlights and colored. Is it this one? Yeah, it is this one. Okay, that's fine. So I have strong highlights on this side and less here, so, whoa, that's the wrong thing. So I'm going to go over here to this airbrush again, try to pick out some of these areas. That is definitely too much. Gonna grab the soft tool. What else should we have? Like here? No. That's literally just a form change. I should put stuff like around here, I guess. The inside of this should be lighter, I think. I think that's how that works. Could be wrong. This is drawing too much attention. Okay. That's better. So this is a form change with this. I wonder why it looks like that to me. Okay, I guess that's better. Okay. I'm just like, no, not that much. I was like, come on, do it. I'm like, alright, I'll try it. And again, that is too much. I'm trying to really come up with a delicate, like, balance. Like, that's fine right there. This needs to be a bit brighter. It's literally right there. So it makes sense if that were a bit brighter. Okay. All this stuff should be a bit lighter as well. Like, keep doing that. It's like this one here. I'll just use this. Instead of me having to like erase away the value, I can just focus on putting the light where it needs to be. And if I don't like it, I can just erase the light. That's one of the things that's kind of different about this process, I guess. But then again, I don't think it needs to be as freaking lit up the way I'm doing it, because I don't think the lightsabers, like, lightsabers are bright, but they're not that bright. They kind of glow. They don't emit actual, like, a lot of light. So I'll just use a little bit of this here to kind of just make sure that it's easy to know just that it is bright, but I'm not gonna be making such a shiny thing. Kind of kills too much of the work I put in. Oh, you love my VTuber model? Thank you. It's based off of my main character from my comic. Yeah, they kind of like neon lights. Yeah. So I think I was doing well when, like, I was starting to just kind of put a little bit of, like, value around them to kind of make them glow. But now I'm trying to, you know, push the lighting here, and I'm like, yo, shouldn't this be lighter? I'm like, no, it's not. Actually, what you should be pushing is the darkness here and there. So I'm gonna think more like that and put just the slightest amount of light on things. So there, there we go. Since these are further away, I don't have much here, but I assume I would just be like this. Spit on the finger. There we go. That way we're not looking at anything too flat. Alright. What else do we have here? I'm going to start working again on these dark parts after I implement some of the stuff from the face, on the face, I would say. So that. Just a little ridge here. Try to get that part there. Maybe that. Okay, back to the values down here as far as the... Okay, that's what that is. That's what that is, okay. So I'm going to start off behind her here with probably a darker value, I guess. So I'm thinking would be a good move. So, try this one. And I guess I'll go with a, a whatchamacallit pen. The thing I actually have to worry about to some degree is just making sure that certain things stick out a bit. I think what I'll do is I'll do this and then I'll blend it. Like, I'll use a blending tool. See how that looks. push that a bit more here. Okay. Guess technically I could do this to the legs here. Just a bit. Alright. Kind of has a good texture to it now. Well, the leg feels better to me, texture-wise. So I like that. But some of these aspects here needs to be darker as well. Let's see what this blending tool got, or has. Which direction will I want to blend? Right here. That's what that does. Kind of leaves a bit of overall residue there. And do it from this side here. I think I like that better. Okay, and realistically, I think I'll also grab the G pen again, go back to the lighter value here, kind of start like adding where there would be shadows, and then I'll kind of like, is there like forming around this part here? Or they're like, not forming, they're contouring around this aspect of her armor here. So I want to accentuate the form here and then kind of round out where I think it would. Where I think it would round out. Again with the blur tool. And let's see here. So I'm going to have to erase out this line here to make sure that that curved swing looks a bit better. What else is here? Wait a minute. If I could do that, then that means I could do this and then do this, right? Or does that not work because... Oh wait, oh, it does. Okay. Huh. Okay. I didn't know. Didn't know I could do that. That's cool. So, well, here... Of course, you can blend it too much, so here's that. Where are we going with this? That. This. No. There we go. Liking the way it's going so far. It's looking okay. Alright, now I'm gonna get something to drink. I think I'll just go ahead and work on my comic now, actually. It's been a little bit. It's been about an hour of streaming. Alright, saved. So here's like the stuff I was setting up. Go back and make sure I can see everything. Here's like some of the stuff I've been setting up for the newest chapter of the Divinity. But yeah, working on this page here. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the usual where I'm just gonna kind of. How did I get rid of that? It's always that one. Okay. So I need panel borders, so I'm gonna go ahead and put more of those on here. Alright, and I made a actual, I made one of these the open panel border joint action. And then I added a bunch of, I think I added a bunch of other ones on top of it, so. Yeah. But I don't see it right now, so it's almost like, which one of these was that action? Motion blur. There it is, new frame border. Alright, click that. It's gonna put everything that's supposed to be in there. And yeah. I usually go by like, I try to think about what's important that needs to be in this main rectangle right here. And if it's not important, I just don't include it. But yeah, I love that you can just do these panel borders like this. You just kind of click that, and then you go over here and open up that part that I put away because I didn't think I was going to need it. But you go over here to divide frame border, click exactly where you want to like add this stuff. I have multiple things set up where some of them are really thin lines, which I don't need for this one. But divide frame border here is what I'll use. Goes to the middle, click that. Now we have that horizontal slice, and I just love that feature. Also, I'm looking at this first panel and I'm like, yo, like I could move this over and it would fit perfectly fine, a little bit better actually. But what I think I'll do is I'll take the sound effect and move that over. And I can technically I can also move this panel border joint over as well. So click here, which is object. And object just allows you to just be able to freely adjust all this stuff. So I'm gonna click this button and it moves it right over. And yeah, I think I'll still move over this sound effect joint because, well, I'll have to actually cut it out and move it. But basically, remember that rectangle I was talking about in the beginning? Everything important has to kind of fit in there, and I want to make sure that my sound effects are that way as well, because they usually are supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be inside of that rectangle. So I would just kind of adjust it like this. Let me cancel that. I'm gonna go to cut and paste. Then when I move it and put it over here, that's cool. It's like something a bit a part of my freaking picture. But yeah, these are going to be like my underdrawing that I'm going to use. So I'm going to basically, I'm working on these digitally. I'm going to like print these out and use them as an underdrawing. So that's kind of like what my process is like right now. And even though I did so much with these like bricks and everything here, and I swear there's something missing, but no it's not. But yeah, I did a bunch with these bricks. Actually it could be. But yeah, I did a bunch with these bricks or whatever here. I'm definitely gonna turn them off though. Or I'm gonna get rid of all this, right? Because there's nothing outside of this square here that's needed. Like all the information that I need is already inside the square, so it's not adding anything to the experience. So I'm just gonna get rid of it. And all I have to do is turn the layer eye off or whatever, or turn the layer off. Click around all these squares, or just use my magic wand tool and click outside of the squares or the rectangles, or basically the panels. Turn them back on, and then just click the delete button. Once I'm on the right layer, yeah. All right, that didn't work because I got rid of all panels. Huh, I guess if it goes all the way over like that, then okay, good to know. So yeah, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to put on remove from selection, and then I'm going to drag this over the stuff that I don't want to be touched. Yeah, that should work now. Yeah, there we go. I've only very briefly played with the comic making part of Clip Studio. Oh word, it's probably the best aspect of Clip Studio. Like it's my favorite. I mean, I love comics anyway, so I'm already biased, I guess, but it was originally, I believe, made for like comics. So all the updates that they've done for Clip Studio that have been really good and all that good stuff have been geared to kind of like make sure that process has been smooth. A lot of mangaka use it. I mean, I believe in Japan they call it Comic Studio, or they used to call it Comic Studio. I don't know if they're still calling it that. I've been a huge fan of Clip Studio Paint. That was the main reason I got back when it was called Manga Studio. Yeah, exactly. Manga Studio. I've been using it since they've been calling it that as well. It's funny. I was always like, yo, Manga Studio is a good name. Why did they change it? And I assume it's because something with the name just wasn't working. Maybe it's some legal situation. I don't really know, but I don't know. It didn't make too much sense to me, honestly. But, you know, if it worked out for them in the end, that's cool. That's cool. I'm over here extending things already. I mean, I guess I could, huh? I guess that it would work that way. Let's see. I guess so. I guess it would. Again, it's on the wrong one. Here. Go to the middle here. Alright. And that should be all of that I need. Should be able to... Alright, it's not gonna whatchamacallit correctly. That's fine. Sorry if that was a bit jarring. It's literally all I had to get rid of. Why was that cut off right there? Interesting. I'll come back to that then. It works real well if you want to do just illustrations too. And in comparison to other art programs I've used, it never really crashes for you. Okay. Me neither, honestly. I've seen some of my friends, like, their stuff crashes every now and then. It makes me a little sad, because I'm all like, guys, you should get Clip Studio, it's amazing. And then, like, I'm not having problems, but sometimes they're having problems. But it's not, like, usual, honestly. It just happens, like it happens anyway. And I'm always just like, dang, like, I wish my friends weren't going through that, because it makes me feel like, you know, I'm lying about the experience or something. It's just everybody's experience is just different. Everyone's computer operating, you know, specs and, you know, the way everything is set up is just different. So, yeah. I just don't know what to ask from, like, Clip Studio anymore at this point. Like I have a few things that I want. Like, if there was like, yo, like, what would you guys want us to change in Clip Studio? Or like what is the thing that you feel like is missing from Clip Studio that you want? And now I'm just sitting there like, I don't know. Like, almost everything. Oh yeah, there's one thing, right? But like almost everything I can think of has come to Clip Studio, or I figured out was already in Clip Studio that I just didn't know how to do it. Like, that's it. So the main thing I can only say that I wish Clip Studio did was, and there's no other program that does it, right? It's not like a feature I'm like, oh, there's another program that does this thing. What I would like is essentially to be able to work on the storyboards for my comic and then not have to copy, paste, resize all of my sketches, you know, on the program. And I guess technically it could be like, oh, well, why don't you just draw directly on the comic file? And I'm just like, well, it's not as snappy as working on a flat piece of, like, paper with all the board stuff on it already, you know, where I'm essentially really doing the thumbnail. What I want to do is do a thumbnail and then have that be essentially automatically resized for me and put on the panels the way they're supposed to be, some type of way. That would be great. That'd be awesome. Yeah, they recently added time lapses, and I was super excited about that. Right. And time lapses actually, you know, they operate a little different from how other things operate, I guess. So it's a little iffy to some degree still, even though I'm happy about it too. But yeah, I'm happy that they added that. I always wondered if you'd be able to, like, see a whole process of someone working on their whole like their whole entire, like, comic or something, right? Like a little time lapse of literally every page coming to fruition or something. That'd be just awesome. But I think there's no software like that unless you just record your whole process every day. Just wanted to see where that was gonna go. Alright. Okay, there we go. Cool. That clears the outside of the borders. Things look so much nicer now. Go over here. Another frame border layer. Keep doing that. So here. Kind of don't feel like I need to add this extra part over here at all, so I think I'm gonna cut that out. This part here is fine. I actually can do this myself real quick. There's a part of it that I want to keep anyway. Alright. Saw something flash in front of my eye real quick. I was like, what the heck was that? I have no idea what it was. I don't know what it was. I'm still cautious. I'm like, whoa, what was that? Why did I make this green part do that? It doesn't matter. It's just a sketch going outside of the line. Something I learned about concept artists, or like when you're like when they're producing a bunch of concepts, when they're sketching things out, they don't erase a lot. They actually just leave the perspective lines and all the stuff like on the paper and just go over everything. I'm seeing spirits. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't believe in spirits. And they don't believe in me. But, yeah, so about like leaving these lines, right? I think it's interesting that they don't like clean up those lines. It's something I learned from, I was reading it was Scott Robertson. Scott Robertson came out with this book. I think it was like How to Draw Anything or something, or anything, you know, whatever you wanted, or something like that. And he's a concept artist, and he was teaching kind of like how concept artists think when they're producing these different ideas and things of that nature. And when they're designing, you know, vehicles, whatever it is, they just kind of throw the lines in the perspective or the angle that they need them to be in as guidelines, right? So you go, okay, there's a vanishing point somewhere over here. You throw the lines from that vanishing point, and you try to get that angle. Even if you don't like certain lines, you just leave them anyway, because the way that they are trying to teach how they are working is they build up from a lighter tone. So like essentially you can just start off with a really light tone, light, like a light value, and that's your underdrawing essentially on the same sheet of paper. And then once you find the lines you really want to capitalize on, you get a darker mark making tool or pen or pencil or whatever, and you go ahead and you go over it like you're inking it, but you don't ink it, you draw, you kind of gesturally make lines and make those lines look really nice or whatever as you're trying to like find the right lines. And as you're doing that, you'll get closer and closer to the lines you first made not even being very noticeable because the darker lines have more contrast against the white paper. And that's why I'm like, I see that these lines are like overlapping, and I'm reminding myself like, hey, it doesn't matter. It's okay if they're overlapping because you're gonna use this for an underdrawing anyway. You know, as long as you can see where certain lines are and you're gonna pick the right ones, you know, it doesn't matter. So this is usually as clean as I need to get for a chapter. I don't know if you guys have seen the page stuff yet, but this is what the pages look like essentially. I was working on YouTube at first, and I was following some friends' advice to try out Twitch. So this is technically my second stream back. Like I've tried Twitch before, like over a year ago or something like that, and then I kind of had to do other things and kind of fell off for a bit. But yeah, I've been streaming consistently on YouTube. I've been putting up a video every single day of the week. Well, every weekday, so 5 videos a week. Over there on YouTube or whatever. And yeah, I got a tip to try out Twitch again since I'm already doing something consistently. So I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, over there, I was working on this, kind of working through all this stuff here, and move back a little bit. But yeah, these are some of the shots I came up with for the next chapter, or this chapter, right? This is chapter 12 of my comic, The Divinity. And yeah, like I like the shots. I think they look good. More importantly, I think they work for what I want to happen. Yeah, I don't know. I like the way they work. I like what's going on here. I haven't finalized the dialogue yet, but kind of working through it, making sure characters sound like what they're supposed to, and the vibe that they're supposed to have when they speak. This is not real. This is not real. I just put it here. You know, you know I'm old, right? You know I'm old, right? It's not real. It's not real, guys. But yeah, I like this here. Kind of use the tool that I found on the Clip Studio Asset Store thingy for this because I don't know, they have some really dope stuff there. As far as like, yo, like I want to use a dope tool, but I don't know how to make tools right now. So what do I want to do? Go to the Clip Studio Asset joint like once a month or some crap, and be like, yo, like who got the good stuff? Look around, find anything you can. There's some actual professional like manga assistants on there, and they're sharing a lot of the tools that they use, you know, while they're on the job essentially. I think the best thing about seeing these things is, well, one, you know, hey, now I can have access to it. If sometimes it's free, sometimes it costs like some coin type things on there, but it's not, in my opinion, expensive. The other thing is, you realize that each one of these tools, no matter which one it is, it doesn't matter if it's a tree or a flower or whatever, it's meant for a certain style and a certain aesthetic. So even if you download it, it might not fit what you're creating, you know? You might have to find something else, or you might have to do it yourself. But it's just cool to see that stuff like that is consistently becoming available. I'm terribly bad at drawing flowers. Oh wow. It's fantastic that there's plenty of flower brushes, stills to use. Word. Yeah, if you don't want to freaking draw flowers though, more importantly, if you don't want to draw flowers, you're gonna have to find, you know, resources that, well, first of all, I don't think you gotta, I guess it's all about the fans that you have, but for the most part, I feel like as long as you make it feel natural and doesn't stand out when it doesn't need to, no one's gonna care what you're using, you know? Except me. Like, if I see that you've drawn something and I can tell you use references, I'm gonna be upset, you know? Like, I'm gonna be like, come on, man, like, you couldn't have just made that up, like, what you doing? Like, why are you looking at references? Like, what's happening? It's like, dog, man. But like, yeah, I don't think anyone cares as long as it feels natural and it works the way it's supposed to in the story, right? Like, I know that this is not what a fish looks like, right? But as long as that fish doesn't steal the attention of all the things that I want you to pay attention to on this, like, the people walking around here are way more important, or I guess they're just as important as stuff like in the background and like the props and all that good stuff. But the props are supposed to be like just props. They're stands, there are people selling things at these stands. I do want you to notice that, but I also want you to follow the flow of people to go up the darn page. Like, that's what I really want your eye to do. And then you end up here, hopefully. You see how I have the vanishing point, trying to like get you there. Like, yeah, go. Look, go here. Go. Go. Yep. Follow. Yep. Yeah. Go up there. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I want you to do right there. But yeah, and whenever that stuff comes into frame, like I put a little bit more effort into the shapes and all the good stuff here. But yeah, it just depends on what you want to do. Obviously, not having to draw something costs you less time, and by having less time, like by having more time, you can put more effort into the things that really matter in what you're creating, right? But if you care more about the feeling of authenticity, I guess, and just like making sure that like people really feel like you put a lot of work and effort into it, you have to find really high quality materials that give off that feeling. Like, I often wonder, what is the human mind's limitation for pattern recognition? I can't believe I said it like that. That's actually how I always wanted to say it. Perfect. But like, for example's sake, right? You give someone a pattern of storytelling or something. How much do you have to do before they realize that you've been giving them the same pattern the whole time? Like, how much stuff do you got to put in front of them before they start seeing the pattern? It's like, yo, like how many different transitional thingies can you put there, and then it goes back to start repeating itself before they go, wait a minute, you're doing the thing. This is the thing you do, I respect solo comic artists so much. Making a story with a script and drawing it all by yourself. I did a simple colored comic with 7 pages and it took so long. Word, yeah, I respect them as well. I don't know. I've been working by myself a lot for a good while. I mean, I feel like sometimes you learn alone, Like, sometimes no one's around you to kind of pick their brain about an idea you have or anything like that. You just kind of work through things by yourself, and then you maybe you get friends who care about the material you're making and stuff, and you can like share it with them or share it with a family member and they can tell you stuff. I don't know. But recently I'm way more like into like trying to collab with my friends and stuff, they're awesome. And like, I don't know, like, again, I'm always been like thinking about doing comics alone, and then eventually it was like, no, we could do this together, and I was like, wait, what? I never thought, and then you have to, sometimes you build this ego from doing everything by yourself, which could be really bad for business, bad for collaboration, and a lot of things, right? You're just like, yo, like, you start realizing like, oh, it's so hard to do this thing, but I'm gonna power through, right? And the next thing you know, you're not even open to the idea of doing anything with anyone else because it was so hard figuring out how to do all this stuff probably by yourself. Or at least that's how I was to some degree. I don't want to say I was like overbearingly toxic or anything like that, but it just never dawned on me to like open up and allow people to like work with them or something, like on comics and stuff. And then when I finally got the friends I have now, it's like, yo, like, you want me to help you with that thing? Because I'm always helping my friends with like anything as far as comics go. I love comics so much. If any of them think about trying out comics, and they're usually doing illustrations or paintings, so I'm like, yo, like, you want some tips, or like yo, like, you're interested in doing comics? Like, I was like, oh snap, like, let me help you out. Like, what you want to know? Like, you need any like book ideas or like reading material, right? Like, because I know a bunch of different things that I read along the way that I think are really good, at like helping people understand how to operate with comics. But like, yeah, like now I'm on the wavelength of like, yo, this would be dope if we could work on this. And a lot of my friends are working on their own separate projects, but we're also thinking about doing collaborative projects and whatnot. And it's really dope to do that. Go ahead and crop this joint off. Not cropped, but I'm going to delete this little part on the side. Oh. That's how you feel. Alright. This is the literal page right here. Alright. Almost forgot that. Oh, thanks. Thank you. But yeah, I really like the way the feeling of this chapter goes. I often find that I'm trying to balance this feeling of like seinen and like shonen, right? And it's because I feel like shonen has become like this flashy, fast-paced thing. A lot of the times, just feels so snappy and fast, whether we're going through a fight or we're going through narrative. And I think of seinen kind of the opposite. I feel like seinen feels like it's trying to mimic the feeling of going through somewhat life, even if they're a bit harsh about showing you that reality. I feel like it's very personal. It's very slow. You know, like I think about like some of my favorites, like Vagabond. And I'm just stay on Vagabond because I love Vagabond so much. And like, it has action, but it also has these slow, like peaceful moments that it just feels like a joy to like this dude's like, oh, I'm about to walk through a mountain or something, and you're just like, okay, cool. But this like, no, I'm gonna really walk through, and I'm gonna notice that there's a rabbit doing something, and I'm gonna see like the foliage. What was wrong with my voice just now? I don't know. But the foliage and everything, you know, you see the details, and Sky just start reminiscing about stuff about his life, and I love that. I love that. Nothing has to happen in that chapter for me to be like, yo, this chapter was whack. You know, like he didn't fight anybody. You know, he didn't draw his sword at all. Like, he could just walk through a forest somewhere and contemplate his life or whatever. And, you know, it's just, I like both of that. I like both of those types of things. Like, I think about Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, the manga, if you guys haven't found that. It's not as dope as like the Akira collection, like the manga collection for that, but it's definitely worth buying. It's 2 massive volumes. They equal up to 1,000 pages, I believe. It's drawn by Hayao Miyazaki. And this is before the movie. And yeah, it's really interesting to read. There's a lot more lore in there than the anime even had. It's well drawn, obviously. It's Hayao Miyazaki, but, you know, like, I gotta say it. And he does a good job where he's like, there's moments where there's no dialogue between 2 characters, you know. Nausicaa's exploring this forest. There's spores. You know, she has to protect herself with her gas mask joint. You know, she's looking around. She's trying to find something. She notices one of the... You know, it's like, it's really... feels like you're exploring all this stuff that was put there by the artist for the character to interact with, you know. It's not some flat universe. It's not just meant for fights. It's not just meant for this one aspect of a thing. It feels tangible. Characters literally interacting with it. And I like that. And I want to get better with that. It's something I don't feel like I'm that good at yet. But I'm trying. I'm trying to be like really just, not just, yo, like, let me look, like, let me feel. What is, but I have to make sure the character really would do it, you know? Or it doesn't fit the character's personality. That type of thing, right? I just figured out a perfect way to do it. Glad we had this conversation, chat. I'm glad. Now I know exactly how I'm gonna make this work. Just thinking of... See, I love sometimes talking it out really helps. It's something that you actually can't do if you're working by yourself all the time. Because who's going to talk out loud to themselves? Sometimes I do that. But, like, who's going to actually talk outside? Like, outside to themselves, essentially, when they don't feel like anyone's listening? Sometimes you do have to have a deep understanding of yourself to be able to do it. But for the most time, it's like, oh man, yeah, I do it all the time, right? Like it works. You gotta know yourself though. But like having other people to talk to is great, right? You could have an idea and you could go, I think this idea is a good idea or it's okay. And talking it out to other people will have your brain figure out answers to things that you were looking for. You're like, I just don't know how to make this thing connect, or I don't know how to make this thing work. It just has to have this thing. You have your own criteria for things, hopefully, at a certain point. And then you go, I can't just do this thing because it doesn't fit my criteria for what I think is good, for why I think it should work the way it should work. And then when you talk it out with your friends, not only do you get that eventually, but you get reassurance because you only can hear yourself think about an idea. But sometimes your friends will be like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. He's like, well, I just thought it was okay. And he's like, no, didn't you know that this and that in real life actually are a thing? And you're just like, whoa, I didn't know that. And it'll point you out to like go research something. And you go research it and you're just like, oh snap, like these things actually do connect in real life. Like I didn't know that there was some sort of pattern there essentially. Like I didn't know it was that cohesive. That's awesome. And then you can build off of that consistently. It's great. I love this face here. I love this. This right here. I love this. Some people would feel ashamed at how rough it looks, and I'm just like, nah, this is perfect. But yeah, I'm happy with my work these days. Let's see here. What else we're going to do with this chapter? Could kind of look over it a bit and figure out if I like the sound effects and whatnot that I have there. Oh yeah, you know what I learned? iPad has a way that you can like change like the size of this, and I did not know that. Wait, is this it? Alright, there we go. We figured it out that fast. I love it. I'm like, wait a minute, what's these little buttons? Yeah. So yeah. This is better for me, right? Being able to just scroll through and see everything. My friends make fun of me because I'm always trying to give people this tip of like, yo guys, if you guys are in Clip Studio and you have your navigator on, which shows your little thumbnail of your image, if you can click the arrow, if you can click the plus or the minus sign, click the minus sign until it says that you are 12.5% zoomed in. If you can still tell what's happening at 12.5, then your image is really good, because the part that you want people to be able to notice or understand or make clear in your image is still clear to you. So that means that no one has to work hard to figure out what your image is trying to show them. And yeah, that's why thumbnails are important to me, because if I can make it work in a thumbnail, all I'm about to do is add more details here and there. But yeah, for me, the slow moments in media really shows the viewer to breathe in a way. So when the dramatic, flashy moments do come, it hits differently. When it's always flashy, then nothing really is memorable. Right. Though I don't know much about music and I'm still learning a bit, it's like a rhythm without change. There's nothing cool there. It's always when the rhythm changes, right?
It's always when the rhythm changes and then changes dramatically, and then it goes back, and you're like, whoa, that was cool. I wonder if something else is gonna happen or something like that, you know. And you can just hear that from the beat or the tempo, or the rhythm of the track, you know. So I think that that's really cool. Also, I noticed that it's another reason why I'm looking over like sound effects here, because I'm trying to merge the feeling of, again, like the idea of how seinen moves with his storytelling, and also shonen, because I would say my storytelling right now is shonen, but it has a splash of seinen in it, and I'm gonna try and do something a bit different later, like with how my story grows. But right now, those are the two things I'm really trying to balance. And I noticed something in shonen. The sound effects are, or the feeling or the sound of shonen is very loud. It's obnoxiously loud. You know, like anyone takes a step consistently, you get those tip tip tips. You know, the TPs. You know, and then you also have, well, in seinen, you don't really hear a lot of people step. You know, it has to be a pretty hard step for you to hear it, like visually. It doesn't get its own sound effect for that. You know, it's like, so what? They walked forward. Why are we making it a big deal with sound effects? And it's like, yeah, it's not, because normal things in seinen are normal for a reason. It's only when they change from being normal that they really have to show up. You know, or unless it's a dramatic story moment, right?
So I'm kind of looking over it and trying to making sure it's engaging, because again, it's shonen-ish, right? But then at the same time, I'm also like, well, certain things shouldn't have a sound. Those JoJo sound effects. Those JoJo sound effects are just some genius tech. Not only are they sound effects, they have their own essential aesthetic to them that just makes them work in the JoJo verse. It's funny. I also find it funny, like, I was looking at some webtoons a while ago, and I noticed, you know, some webtoons, just like some shonen manga, uh, have the most, like, why did you even add a sound effect there? Like, it's pretty obvious that that just happened. Like, for example, someone turns their head, and they already have the lines there to show you that they've turned their head, and someone writes "turn" there, and it's just like, bro, bro, I could tell that they turned their head. What's happening? Like someone sat in a chair and it just says sit, and you just like, bro, I was reading the comic. I know he just sat down. I saw the panel before where he was standing, and now he's sitting. I can tell that he sat, bro. Why did you do that? My favorite one is notice. I did not ever think in my life that I would see someone have the sound effect that said notice. Like, are you serious? You serious? I could literally see that they noticed them. That they noticed that something happened. Why did you write notice? And a part of me is like, you know, I get it. It's a way to make sure that anyone who isn't paying enough attention to your comic doesn't get left behind. You know, it's just, it's like giving them the answer. You know, it's just like, all right, guys. It's like imagine going through a really arduous arc of learning a bunch of information, and then right before you go to the next arc, they slow down and go, all right, guys, let's do some little exposition to make sure that no one is left behind when we get ready to go to this next arc. Let's dumb down everything. You know, we're gonna, yeah, this is the energy. What? That's how that works? Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to layer your energy on this thing here, and it becomes a conduit for da-da-da-da. You're like, oh, word. You just sitting there like, bro, it took me like the whole series to figure out how that worked. And 80% of everyone reading this comic right now has figured this out. Why are you just giving us the answer right now? Because we want to make sure that the 20 other percent comes with us to the next arc. We don't want a massive falling off of the fan base just because we wanted to just keep going and keep pushing the narrative. We got to slow down and be like, hold on, everybody with us? You got it? You didn't get it? All right, let me explain it real quick. Everybody in the back, pay attention. This is how this works. You got it?
Alright, okay, now we about to move on to the next thing. Y'all got it, right? I'll explain it again. Please don't explain it again, bro. We gonna explain it again. Y'all got it, right? We got it. Alright. 5 chapters later. Alright, y'all, next arc starting. But it works, right? It really works. Because you never know how young your readers are. If you're doing something shonen, you definitely know that your range is kind of different, right? People can get into shonen from like, I don't know, age 6 to like age, I don't even know. As long as you still enjoy that material, you can go all the way up to like, I don't know, 36, you know? I'm actually 31 years old myself, and I can still stand shonen. It's still not too horrible, or, I mean horrible as in like, you know, the more you indulge in something, the more you get used to the pattern, the more you get used to what they're doing and why they're doing it, and you want to see something different, you know? And the thing is, you're not the demographic anymore, so they don't need to impress you. They need to impress people who are kind of just getting into it, right? And that's why shonen works the way it works. It doesn't need to impress the people who are truly versed with shonen. There's a few shonen that stand out that goes, okay, there are people who are shonen fans. How do we keep them coming back? How do we give them something where, like, it's not just basic stuff anymore? You get your Hunter x Hunters like that, you know? You get your, you know, I don't even know if there's another one right now in my head. Like, I feel like, alrighty, I have to read. Oh, I have to head to bed. I won't work. I got work tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Word. You go ahead and get some rest, Genocidal. I'll see you later. But yeah, there's everyone tries to do something eventually, but every now and then it's like you just kind of pick which fan base you're gonna kind of stick to for a bit, and you go, okay, how can I make this simpler? So you're trying to dumb it down for people, and then you have this other part of your fan base where you're like, I'm trying to give them something different, where you're trying to give them a twist and turn that actually feels worthwhile for their time because they're the older fans of the genre, you know. So I feel like that's happening all the time though. But yeah, looking at this chapter, kind of just browsing through it, just looking at it. The only thing I haven't actually created for it would be the cover for the chapter. And I've been slightly getting more and more into just doing illustrations anyway. And as you can tell, since you know, the Ahsoka joint right here. But yeah, I've been enjoying doing more illustration stuff for a bit. And I'm just thinking to myself, what would be a good one for this chapter? I've done, you know, the last ones and everything. I'm just wondering what I want to do for this one. I would say for my first chapter covers, I tried to do something that felt story focused, but also had like some characters in it. With the last, I would say 2 chapters I've done on stream, the last 2 covers I designed were more about the environment. With this new arc that I'm going into for my story, I'm going to be showing off that place a lot more. So maybe what I'll do is create something that's like some sort of interaction or some sort of moment between Makim and Halo, the 2 characters that are mainly in this arc, and Samara, obviously. Samara is the well, she's a god, and she's sitting on my character's shoulder. That there's like this butterfly, and it's really fast. Yeah, but anyway, she's like a god in the story, and yeah, Halo is just on this journey at the moment with his friend, Makim, and yeah, I'm trying not to give anything away, honestly, that's all. There's more there, but I'm just trying not to give anything away. And yeah, basically, I wanna maybe I'll put it like a moment like that. It's multiple things, right? We have, well, they're already here, so they're already getting on this boat, going across this area, and then they make it to the port, and then they see some food.
Yeah, so I think what I'll end up doing is I could technically just draw them in a crowd of people and just have them talking or something or enjoying their time, just looking at things. I think that could be pretty cool. It's pretty wholesome. Hmm. Okay, so what will be a good viewpoint? I think I want to make sure that they're somewhat like close-ish. Always got those main characters vibing together manga covers. It's weird. I'm always just like, man, like, what exactly do I like again? And then I'm just like, yo, I don't care what it is. I just kind of want to feel something. Like, I don't even know anymore. I'm just like I'm dissecting it, you know? I'm just like, man, it doesn't even have to be so out of the norm. It just has to make me feel something. Like, I don't know. Part of me is just like, yo, like, draw something and put something in it that just makes you really want to be interested in it, you know? Like, that's, I don't know. And that's just me as a viewer myself, not just, it's not just me going, oh, like, that's what I'm doing. It's like, I'm as a viewer, like, I still read comics. I still love comics. I still think they're good. Just want to get something that's going to make me feel something, I guess. I really just double tapped my freaking Wacom pen like it was gonna turn to an eraser.
If it makes you happy, then that's all that matters.
I guess so. Being a creator does give you that luxury. Are you serious? This eraser just failed me. It was like, you can use the eraser, but it's small. put that on the same layer. Okay. Oh, it's on that. Okay. What? What's happening, Los? Oh, snap. Want to become famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers on this link. Bigfollows.com. Nah, I'm good. Whoever bought, I don't know. I'm good. Who would have known that there'd be a bot here? Big follows. Yeah, man, big follows, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't like big follows? Like, what's up with y'all? Like, you know, like, big follows, guys. Oh, crap. I didn't do the... Right, I put it underneath this, right? Right, except this has to go above it. I always make this little mistake here. There we go. So here's my sketch for kind of like what I'm probably gonna do. Will definitely change, but yeah, I like it a bit. Let's go ahead and hide that guy real quick. So I'll probably go for something like this. I think I like this. Hmm. It's very rough, but yeah, I don't need to have anything super clean and necessarily use it in underdrawing. Just like I was explaining with the concept art stuff. I learned a lot of things from concept artists over the years, and I'm pretty sure it helped me, or it's a part of the reason why I work the way I work. But it's also why I feel shy about probably posting any of my before like pencil stuff, because it's very rough, and I can take that and usually make it into like how my illustration stuff eventually happens. You know, like how that looks. Like yeah. So this is all pencil. Like if I turn off all these other layers, this is just pencil. Like like pencil underneath of here. Just got really well. I know a bunch of techniques I can use on my line work, but yeah, it's actual real pencil. Like you know, like I did all this on 11 by 14 size paper. This probably isn't the best example because you're seeing it like this, but here's something I was gonna work on stream that I didn't. It's Asajj Ventress. Yeah, so you can kind of see like the roughness of the pencil and stuff like that here. But yeah, like my stuff is basically pencil, and I haven't really put any ink on it or anything like that. I usually love inking, but I don't know. The more I learned about inking over time, it's funny. Like I even bought more stuff for it. I just started doubling down on having really clean pencil as well, and then like some of my friends, like obviously like the Kaino Knot, and I have another friend. He goes by Bowie Moon and stuff like that. Uh, these guys consistently push their pencil art, and I was like, you know what, my pencil art's pretty good as well, so maybe I can try out just using that instead. And yeah, after trying it out and trying to push things a bit and make things better, I was able to get really decent results. So yeah. But yeah, thanks everyone for coming by the stream. I'm about to go ahead and end stream now. Let me see, is there anyone I should raid? Yeah, I'll raid someone. See if I can do this properly. Alright, so how do you do this again? You do a what is this called? Hash, a backslash, I forget the thing. It's like that. Alright, and then you paste their name, right? No, you gotta write raid, right? Yeah. I think that's how that works. No, I did that wrong. Oof. Alright. First time viewer from the Kaino's raid. The stream was fun. Thank you. Appreciate that. Is that how that works? No, it's not. And for some reason my hand just gave me a really bad, what is it called? Pain. If that makes any sense. Is that how that works? Oh. Alright then everyone. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. Peace.
What am I doing?